All right, let's give him a drum roll. Come on, woo!
So I was growing up, I was, as a child, my father was a mechanic that worked on railroad engines, and he said one time, hey, let's take you down, let you see what I do for a living. And so we went to his office, and of course his office is this huge train rail, and it's really, it was kind of fun because I got to get in a train and drive a train. And he said, you as a kid were the craziest person. And so apparently I got on the train. There was one of these hats, and I reached up and put that hat on, right? And he starts to laugh. Well, I've thought about that since then. And I just want you to know that we're going to start this officially. I have never done that in a workshop before. I've always wanted to do that. Well, folks, recently I was working on this book that IHS has been kind enough to get for y'all, this book called Grow Your Organization. And we're going to use it today, go through it, and give you some great materials. Over the last few years, I would go speak at an association on marketing, branding, sales, and afterwards, the association executives would come up and say, Kordell, we sat in on your session, and we just want you to know we need that. And so one association turned into two and four, and so these associations call all over and say, will you come work with our chapter leadership on how we can grow associations? So about 40% of my time is done that. 60% is doing like we'll do tomorrow at lunch. It's more of the hoo-hoo, hee-hee kind of stuff. And so today we're going to work on some of the stuff that's in this book. And if this is good, you'll steal this for your business. Because this is, listen, I may not be smart, but I'm stupid. And I'm just smart enough to know to steal from other people. And so as I travel the country, I hear great ideas. And that's what this is stealing from associations across the country. In fact, I was out in California. We were in the forest. As we were walking through the forest, I reached down and I grabbed some of the stuff that was in the forest. And as I picked it up and put it in my hands, this thing's supposed to work. I hope this works. As I put it in my hand, I looked down and there was a seed pod, okay? Just a seed pod. The seeds weren't even in it anymore. And the seed pod was interesting because if you look at the pod and what comes out of the seed, it's quite impressive, right? These huge 280-foot trees. You look up and you just keep looking up and they kind of, who gets that big? And so we're going to talk today about ways to plant the seeds for you and your presidency and your leadership. So here's the challenges to association growth. As I talk to everybody here, this is the number one thing everybody's struggling with is how do I up my membership? So I've customized some of these. They'll be a little bit different than what's in your handout because of your input today. But we're going to talk about association growth. There are some challenges. Number one challenge is, and so before we get there, grab this card. It's on your table. See the card, the 3x5 card? So there should be enough for everybody to have one card. Pass them out or share with the neighbor. Okay? You've only got 3? I'll bring you over some more. Oh yeah, we've got cards, baby. Now you'll notice on this card, there are a lot of different things, right? Does everybody see the good? Do you see the good? Do you guys see the good? Does it say good or what does it say? What's it say? Oh, it says evil. Oh, it says good or it says evil? Oh, Kordell, you're playing mind games with us already. Also, you'll notice in the corner, there's these shapes. Do you see these shapes on your card? At the bottom is a cake. Do you see the cake? Above that, what's the shape just above it? A dog, a digital dog, right? And what's the shape above the digital dog? A Pac-Man? Somebody said laser printer? And of course, everybody sees the arrow, right? And the top shape is what? Part of a hat? Oklahoma? Who sees the fly? One person sees, two people see the fly. Who sees the fly? Do you see the fly? You don't see the fly? Who sees the fly? 3 people. See, 4 people see the fly. Come on, work harder. See the fly. 4 people see the fly. Now, you're probably looking for it and saying, he's smoking dope. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay? Maybe turn it so its shape is turned this way. If you turn your card so you look at it this way, do you see the fly? You don't see the fly? You see the fly. She doesn't see the fly. She sees the fly. You got the fly? Now, why don't you see the fly? Let me tell you why you don't see the fly. Because you're not used to reading white letters on a white background. You don't generally read white letters on a white background. Now, if I change the background, look what happens. Okay? And so you're used to reading black letters on a white background, white letters on a black background, but never white on white. But if I give this card to a graphic artist, they see it right away because they're used to seeing white as a shape. And you're trained not to see it as a shape. You're trained to see it a different way. And so as we get talking about the challenges of growing membership, some of this may be new. Some of it, your first response is going to be, I don't know. And I want you to think about seeing the fly, seeing something you may not normally see, okay? So here's the challenges. Number 1, the information caper. Today, information is free. I mean, in here, who has ever gone to see a movie and consulted Rotten Tomatoes first? Kelley Blue Book before you bought the car. Yelp before you went to dinner. Urban Spoon before you went to dinner, right? Angie's List before you hired the contractor. Because today, information is free. And so the issue becomes, well, am I in the information business or am I in the hearing aids business? Or am I in another business? But with free information, the people that used to come to associations may say, I don't need to go to the association anymore because information is free. Well, we got to fix that. And so we're going to give you some tools to do that. And so if you look at the 3 of the top 4 reasons people go to association events, 3 of the top 4 are to get education or networking. Education or networking. The number 4 reason is they want advocacy. But the other 3 of the top 4 are networking and education. And so you have to ask yourself, are we providing that for our customers, our would-be members, okay? The second challenge is what's known as the experience economy. And I've given you a preview of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. What's the experience economy? 100 years ago, we were in a business of selling commodities. We dug it out of the ground. We took it to market. We traded in our eggs to get our kids' shoes. We traded in the kids' shoes to get bread. You bought and sold in quantity. And then about 50 years, somebody said, hey, we can take those same commodities and we can package them, manufacture them, and add value. And so we have an economy where we're packaging and manufacturing things, right? And about 50 years later that, 1995, the Wall Street Journal said there are more businesses in the United States that create services than there are that manufacture and package things. So the services economy came around about 1995. Well, today, what do we sell? And today we sell customer experiences. Now I have a question. I'm just curious. How many of you would you say that your businesses currently are here? How many of you say your businesses are here? How many of you are in this business? How many of you don't know? Okay? Well, your association also, your chapter also is in one of those phases. So one of the things we want to give you today is the ability of creating an experience, right? Because these experiences are huge. 100 years ago, you got coffee beans. 50 years ago, those were packaged and manufactured. Thank you, Folgers. Now, you go to Starbucks. Got to get the service. But if we want an experience, a sidewalk cafe in Paris. Oh yeah. Scratch it, baby. And so the number 3 problem you've got is the anti-social generation. Because these people are hooked in, connected, et cetera, et cetera. Why would they come to your association? They're home busy Facebooking. Yeah. Statistically, the more connected an individual becomes, research has shown the more likely they are to go out. So we need to be aware that they are connected, they do go out, they're just selective about where they're going to go. Okay? So how many of you have ever been in a meeting, including today, where they said, take your phones out and put it on vibrate? Don't do that. Because this up and coming generation, this is how they interact with the world. Statistically, if you're doing one thing and somebody texting at the same time, research shows that if I'm talking to you and I'm texting at the same time, my IQ drops by an average of 15 points. It's worse than if I were to smoke marijuana. So when somebody's on their phone, just think, stoner. Right? But the attention span is shorter. 20 years ago, the attention span of the average adult was about 11, 12 minutes. Today, according to the BBC, 9 seconds. About that of a goldfish. And so, when you say to the up and coming generation, those that we want to start having come to our chapters, turn off your phones, put it on vibrate. What you don't know is they've got their phone and they're twittering. These guys suck. Okay? Do the opposite. Reward those that bring their phones and use them. You should be giving out a prize for the best Twitter post during your meeting, because it's now viral live marketing that gets past all the gateways, all the firewalls, and send them your PHI at the same time. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. So, what are some ideas to grow your association? First of all, we need to give you some things to say. How many of you realize how much your school teacher screwed you up? See, your third grade teacher screwed you up because they taught you, when you went to school, they have this red pencil. And if they say, you write the wrong thing, I will mark your paper up. Why? Because you need to get into college. If you don't get into a good college, you won't get a good job and you'll be a failure. So you got to get into college. And so you wrote, and as you wrote, they would mark up your paper with their red pencil. And if you wrote in the wrong way, they would mark you up.
I knew it.
And so they flea trained, they taught you how to write properly, because when you go to write your college essay, you cannot write in second person. You write in first or third person, not in second person. You write in second person, I will mark up your paper. Okay? Well, there's a problem with that. When you start teaching people to write in second person, first person, third person, all that sort of stuff, it causes problems. What kind of problems? What is 57 facets? A diamond. Do you care Who in here cares that it has 57 facets? Jason, do you care? No. No, he doesn't. So 57 facets. 57 facets. Okay, so 57 facets. Some people care about 57 facets because what does that do for us? Yeah, what?
It impresses us.
It impresses you because why? Sparkle. I want the color. As one jeweler told me, Kordell, our diamonds breathe in light and they exhale fire. So let's see, that's cut. What are the other ones? Let's see, cut, clarity, and what? Carrots. And cost. Yes, cost. And do we buy carrots? Do we care about carrots? Do we care about carrots, or do we care about what carrots do for us?
It's all about size.
I thought we were talking about diamonds. Because how many months is he supposed to spend on the ring? 3, right? Who'll give me 4, right? Because the carrots communicates what? Love. Love. It really communicates status, right? Because it says, look what I caught, right? Ladies, oh, guess what happened to me last night? Okay? Well, when you communicate to people this stuff, this in Business 101 is called what? A product's what? Features. And this stuff over here is called benefits. Well, here's benefits spelt right? If you'll pay attention, I'll teach you some new ways to spell words. But what happens is we speak in terms of features because those are logical. And we speak in terms of benefits because those are emotional. And which one sells, features or benefits? How do we know that? Because how many pairs of shoes do you need in the closet? A lot. A lot. Because there is that one, there is that one pair that matches that sweater that makes my eyes pop. Okay? So we buy this to get this. In fact, the truth is we buy this and justify it here. But here's the kicker. When you communicate, you by default put yourself in one of these columns. When you use, according to your English teacher, the words I, me, we, our, to get into college, you communicate logic. But when you speak in terms of you and your, the illegal language, we speak in terms of emotion. We speak in terms of what is of interest to our customers. Well, so how do I so I communicate the value of our chapter to would-be members? Well, you have to create what's known as UCAN language. UCAN language. So, what I want you to do is open up that neat book, and we're going to turn to, I think it's page, let's see if I can find the page. I thought I put it on here. 19. Page 19. Okay. You there? Do we have enough books? Here's a book right here. Thank you. Page 19. And if you don't have a book, do we have any more books? If you don't have a book, take and find a blank piece of paper, and you can draw a T shape on it like this. A line across the top and a line down the side. And why would you want to learn this T-shaped thing? Because if you're really smart, you go back with your staff and you do the UCANs for your business. So here's how it works. You say, because of this 57 facets, you can have more sparkle, more prestige, more beauty. You can have bling. Because this communicates emotion, right? So you have a sheet like this in your book. What page is it? 22. Turn to page 22. Okay. On number 1 on your sheet, let's write in, because as far as I can tell, everybody here has your annual event, right? So let's write annual event. Annual event.
That's the day after.
And he says, I said annual repent by mistake. And he said, no, that's the day after, the annual repent. But under number 1, write annual event. I just washed my mouth, and I washed my mouth. It won't work. Okay, so you've written that down. So then what you've got is, where did it go? Oh, man. Here. You've got something that looks like this. I'm going to leave this up for a second. You can find it if you want, but stay on that UCAN page. So the sentence reads, because it's in your book somewhere, you can get because of our annual event. Okay? So that's the sentence you think in your head. So you can, because of our annual event, you can, come on, baby. What I want you to write there on 1A, I want you to write, what do they get if they come to your annual event? You get education, cutting edge, world class education. What else do they get if they come to your annual event? Networking. They get to network. So when you get fired, you can get a new job. And those that aren't at the annual event, you will get fired. Okay? What else do they get if they come to your annual event? Lunch. What else? What else? Fun. Networking, new ideas, new marketing ideas, ways that you can grow your business, certification, CEUs. You'll get to hobnob with the people that make it happen. You'll get to have golf, you'll experience, you'll create a network of people you can call on when you have questions. You need to be at this event. Do you see how that works? So you start the sentence with, you can get golf, networking, education, CEUs, new business insights, networking, a future job opportunity, opportunities to buy other companies, people to buy you. You get opportunities to meet the manufacturers, expand what you offer, increase the profitability of your business, grow your sales, just if you come to our event. See how that works? If you position it that way, now you're talking about this stuff over here. Okay? Number 2 on that sheet, right on number 2 on the you can sheet, let's write benefits of membership in the chapter. So on this sheet, on number 2, write membership. And number 3, let's do advocacy. Okay? So number 2, steal these ideas. What are the benefits of being a member of your local chapter?
Reduced rates to come to the annual meeting.
Reduced rates. What else? Information. What else?
Seeing old friends, connecting, reconnecting.
Connecting, networking. What else? Sense of belonging. A chance to give back. A chance to move beyond success to becoming truly significant. Because there's a point in your life where you realize significance is greater than success. You can be on the board. You can make a difference. And not only that, but we update people on what's going on in the industry. We allow you to meet with new vendors. You'll get to talk to experts in the fields. We can bring you stuff that you're usually paying 10 times more for. Okay, so these you cans, we need to sit down and do those. So let's do advocacy in your table. We're going to have a table competition. You've got exactly 120 seconds to list as many items. You can put them in the margin if you want. Why do you get advocacy with your IHS chapter? On your mark, get set, go. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Am I back on? Okay, so I have a question. Call out, what do you get from your chapter membership that helps you with advocacy? Protection. Power. You what? Control your future. Affect change. Recognition. Innovation. Strength in numbers. Protection.
From unrestricted regulations.
Protection from those crazy politicians. My grandpa said, every politician makes you look tells you to go to hell and makes you look forward to the trip. Equips you to be proactive. Now, would it help if she came around and stole all your answers and sent that out to all of you? Wouldn't that be awesome? See? So maybe here in a few minutes we could give you more time to do more you-cans, because when you do your you-cans, now you have what you need to say about your next event. We've got Kordell Norton coming. Who cares? Right? They don't care. But you say, but Kordell Norton's coming and he's going to help you do this, learn how to do this, do this. Do you want to do this? Do you want? That's what I want. See? That's what they want. They want the future. They want a different world. Okay? So, you kids. We're back to membership. A guy in Michigan by the name of Robert Brinkerhoff did some study, and he found out that when your members come to your meeting, only 20% of the impact you have with them occurs when they're at the meeting. That 40% occurs before the meeting and 40% after the meeting. So as a president of your chapter, you want to start thinking about, what am I doing pre and post the meeting to impact membership? Okay? Pre and post. So here's some pre-event ideas.
That is the question.
Oh, let's see if I can make this, turn this up. Now this guy has these segments on the internet called Will It Blend? Who's seen these? Will It Blend? So here we go. Let's see if I can get it back.
Now we're going to do something kind of unique here. Here I have a dozen light sticks, and these are break and shake light sticks that last for 12 hours. Now it says on the instructions, do not puncture, cut, or bite into light stick. Now, it doesn't say don't blend the light stick. Let's turn the lights off for effect. That is a 12-hour lantern. Don't drink this.
Now, when he started doing those commercials, it was Will It Blend? And he started off with, ice cubes. And then the next time it was an iPhone. And the next time he took an iPad and bent it and dropped it inside and blended the iPad. I love the one where he blends the broom. Takes the whole handle and goes, and his sales went from about 10 million a year to 300 million a year. So people see Will It Blend, and then when they go to buy a blender, they go and look for a Blendtec. So my question is, what are you doing on YouTube, which is the free TV station for your next event? Okay? You got to steal this stuff. Okay? Recently, I had to speak to the International Car Wash Association. And they said, we'd like a promotional video. So I went out, my wife was furious, I cut off the end of the hose, went down in front of a car wash, used a YouTube, my iPhone, and I did a 120-second commercial about my up-and-coming presentation at the International Car Wash Association with steam coming out behind me and they caught, right? And so they sent it out to their participants beforehand, and people were saying, oh, this guy's trouble. you know? Well, so here's a chance for you to get to pre-announce your conference. Now, who's the best person to do this? The age group that's in this room? Kids. Kids. Because, yeah, she raises her hand. Me. Why? Why do we want her doing the YouTube video? Because we'll do talking heads. We think that's entertaining to watch somebody talk. But they're smarter, right? They know it's something more exaggerated. And so they'll do something that's a little bit out there. And that's what you want. Besides, we're going to show a segment tomorrow of my friend Steve Spangler on the Ellen Show. But Steve did some research because he's all the time on media doing his thing. He found out that a professionally shot video versus an iPhone video, for a professional video, it will get watched one time. And an iPhone video of the same stuff, 9 times. You do not want to overthink this. You want to put this online, okay? So think about, what are we doing? And you can put out multiple commercials on your next event. Are you guys writing this down? Steal this, okay? Another thing you do is you steal content from your speakers to promote your conference. Who did that? Who was it on your staff did that? Is she in here? I didn't bring it. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh, Kara did this. So I sent some articles and I said, there's more if you want to go get them. They surfed through all my stuff. They put all these, anybody remember this? You remember this? So they took a bunch of my articles and put them all in a packet, right? And said, this is the crazy person that's coming, right? Well, all your speakers have this stuff. So you find somebody that's kind of entertaining, take their articles, their blog posts, they may have to clean them up, and you blast it out to everybody that you want to have come to your events, right? Because how many times do you have to touch a customer before they believe your message? 3, 5, 7. There are those that says it's 12. Because a phone call, that's 1. An email, that's 2. A blog post, that's 3. A package in the mail, that's 4. 5, 6, 7 times. Why is that? Because we don't believe people's advertising. How many of you remember ShamWow? See, I was watching ShamWow, and he goes like this, ShamWow, and he takes this carpet, and he pours pop, glug, 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 and the pop's running out from this piece of carpet, and he goes, ShamWow, and he puts it on the carpet, and he bounds it in, and he goes, watch, and he squeezes out an aquarium, and I thought, wow. I watched the commercial again. And so I'm watching it. They pour the pop in the carpet. It's running out. ShamWow. He goes to put it down, and there's no pop running out from under the carpet. The video had been doctored, and I thought, Sham, wow. And so you got to understand that they may not believe your marketing, but because you can communicate to them, but you got to hit them 7 times before they get past that. I just don't believe it's going to happen, right? Room setups. Do you guys know about room setups? Okay, you need to know about this. Do you want a big room with just a few people, small room with a lot of people? Why? Because size is important? More intimate. When you have open space, it sucks the energy out of the room. A great meeting planner will want actually there to be no aisle in the middle of the room because that sucks out energy. And so when you start doing your rooms, you want to be aware that if you have this kind of an arrangement where things are straight, that they sit and they don't interact. So what you do is called chevron. C-H-E-R-V-O, chevron. And in Chevron, you put people so they can see the other people in the room. And that way, when one person starts laughing, the people on the other side start laughing. It raises the energy level in the room. So the old saying is, you can't have an event till you've moved some furniture. Okay? So somebody's got to get there early to move the furniture around and make sure people can see each other, right? Well, so do you want them at the front or at the back? You want them in the front. So how do you get people to move to the front? Put a $100 bill in the chair. Now, the best way is to take the chairs out of the back. But you can't do that, because wonder if I have every chair filled, but you still want the front filled first. So what you do is you go invest in some very expensive pieces of paper that say reserved. And you put reserve signs on the back tables. So they move to the front. And then when the front are filled, you go over and pick off a reserve sign. Say, we've reserved a table for you right here, right? So you've got to control the crowd. You've got to control the energy. You've got to get them to the front so they can hear, okay? So room. The church lady has a method that everybody in here needs to steal. It's called assign the potato salad. Every church lady on the face of this earth understands that if you want great attendance at your next meeting, you assign the potato salad. In fact, you assign it multiple times. Because if you say, Betty Sue, we want you to bring your potato salad. And BJ, would you bring your potato salad? Sue's going to bring hers, but maybe they'll want some of yours. And Sarah, will you bring your potato salad? There sucks. I'm bringing mine. Okay, so now who's going to come? Those three ladies, their spousal units, and their kids. Because they want them to eat that potato salad. Don't let her potato salad get eaten before my potato salad, because there's something. And there's a competition going on there over potato salad. Well, so what do you assign as a chapter leader? Because if you assign this stuff, they will come. So you've got to assign stuff. So let's go through some of this. Page 42 in the book. Seating committee, people to move the chairs around. Greeters, somebody's got to, nobody comes for the first time without getting a name tag with a star on it. Why? Because you learned when you were 4 years old, 5 years old, that you want a star. And people will come to your meeting and get a star, and they'll say, I haven't had one of those in 40 years. I really like that, see? So somebody has to make sure they get a star. That means somebody's got to go to Walmart and buy stars for $2.79. You put it on their name tag.
And the hearing aid too.
And the hearing aid too. No. They buy their hearing aids there when they need to buy their open heart surgery at Walmart. Picture takers. Do you need to assign somebody to take the pictures? Who do you assign to take the pictures? Yeah. You may get a professional like this that you say, hey, I need your pictures because I need some select things taken, like when you're giving out awards and you're smiling, you know, yeah, he's great. I'm the honcho. Get our picture, right? But you want those other pictures taken as well with these. Now, a word on pictures. When you take pictures, you need to rename the file for the pictures. Let me tell you what I mean by that. If I take this, and I take this picture, click, and I download that picture to the internet, download it, that picture is going to say J416793114.xxx.jpg. And when Google goes to find that, what are they going to find? They don't know. So they just stick the picture away. So somebody you need, what's your name? Spencer. It's what? Spencer. Spencer? Is your name Spencer? Yeah. Cool. So you need Spencer to take your pictures and change the file names so that it relates to the event or the person's name. So if you say, this is a picture of Spencer at the fall event, Spencer at fall drunk.jpg. I'm just kidding. Because now you send out your newsletter, go see the pictures of the fall event. Those pictures are now searchable. They now communicate what you're working on. So you got to change the picture names. And you change them to the name of your event. So they type in the event, they get this search of all the event, and they hit images and all your pictures pop up. And you send out a newsletter, just about everybody would like to see your pictures are online. Oh, I wonder if they got me with the lampshade. And they go out and they check the pictures to make sure they got. See how that works? You got to change the picture names. And while we're on the subject of pictures, tell me your name. Flash Gordon. If Flash takes my picture and I say, Flash takes my picture, Flash, this is called a mugshot. But if I want a business picture, what do? I want you to pay attention. I do this. That's a business picture. Turn your shoulders 45 degrees. Now, what I'm about to do is going to screw up every group picture for the rest of this conference. Because if you want to take a picture of somebody, a business picture that has personality, this is what you do. So if you're in your business and you want to communicate personality, this is what you do. You look at the photographer, I'll look at this camera. You do this. Now pay attention, you'll miss it. Is that stupid or what? And so what happens is they found out that if you tilt your head 1 to 3 degrees, just barely, it communicates scoundrel. Communicates what? Scoundrel. Troublemaker. Character. Okay? So you want to be aware. Now, none of this. That's a whole different seminar, right? But just that slight head tilt. Now, when they take a group picture of this, people, don't everybody do it. Just barely. Otherwise, you'll look a little weird, okay? But you'll notice people that know how to get their picture taken, they just automatically do this head tilt. Back to this thing, newsletter reporter. Have somebody take notes and put it out on the LinkedIn group site. You guys all have LinkedIn groups, right? Okay, write this down. Write this down. Go to LinkedIn. Everybody's got a LinkedIn profile, right? With your picture, right? Okay, you got to have a LinkedIn group for your chapter. Who's in the group? In everybody that's in the chapter. You have them go sign up for the group. And what you do in the LinkedIn group is you say, hey, has anybody found a great insurance carrier for hearing aids? And everybody that's in the group now gets an email that gets priority over their normal email in their email box. So if you post in a group in a LinkedIn group, everybody that's signed into the group gets email. And you can have ongoing discussions. So now somebody will say, did anybody have an insurance group for? Did anybody find somebody that has special packaging for these things? Who's using who? And people are, oh, I use this guy. Oh, I use this guy. And people are responding back and forth. And all of a sudden, the only way you can get into the LinkedIn group is if you do what? Join the chapter. Okay? So you need somebody that might put out as the reporter the synopsis of what was in the last meeting. If they put out the synopsis of the notes of what's in the meeting, somebody's going to send that to a non-member and say, you need to get your butt to this thing. This is what we covered in the last meeting. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Remember, the church lady doesn't do it. She assigns it. Don't you do it. Board members, registration table, somebody needs to be assigned to the registration, assistant to the professional. Your job is to make sure that Kordell doesn't screw us up too bad, okay? Room setup, kitchen liaison, note taker, videographer, before, during, and after. And we'll talk about that in a second. Person to bring awards. Ushers, AV setup, cruise directors, herders to get people in after the break, okay? Industry Certification Act, ambassadors for first timers. Your job is everybody here's the first time, shake their hands, get their business card, get their email address. Because we got to touch them 7 times. Okay? So that's on page. Steal that. Go through and do a check. And you say, well, I only have 5 people show up to my meetings. So start. You'll have 10. Assign somebody who's not a member to do one of these things. Hey, you're assigned for the next meeting to be the room setup. Well, I don't come to your meetings. I know, but you're still the setup guy. We expect you to be there. Well, I don't have time. If you're not there, we're going to talk about you. In the first 3 minutes of every meeting, this is the single most powerful thing you can do, whether you have 5 or 150. In the first 3 minutes, you need to do this. Hi, we want to welcome you all here. All the board members, will you stand up? Stand up, all the board members, and they all stand up. In fact, let's do this. All board members that are in here, stand up. Right now. Okay. Tell me your name and what you do on the board.
My name is Susan Wade, and I'm a governor of IHS.
Great. Okay.
Jake Bowman, Executive Director, Indiana. Carol Stair, President, Oregon Hearing Society. Ron Tucker, President of California!
Paul Lane, past president of North Carolina, current governor, IHS. Georgia King, Ralph Jackson, past president of Georgia Society.
Doug Dunker, IHS Governor, Northwest Territory.
Cindy Peppers, meeting past president. California!
Good job, all around fun guy.
Todd Byer, IHS secretary and governor, go pack go.
Julie Cohen, County President, Pennsylvania.
Dan Burke, president of New Jersey.
Tom Higgins, train conductor.
Let's give them a hand. Okay, what just happened?
Recognition.
Recognition. Do these people do this because they need the money? They're at that state where success, yeah, I'd like more, but I want to be significant.
We're not getting paid?
What you were getting paid before.
So you've got to do this because it communicates these people at every meeting get recognized. If I want to get recognized at this meeting, I need to come to every meeting, and at every meeting I'm going to do that if I do what? If I join the board. If you don't do this, you won't have people wanting to do the whole succession thing. You won't have people wanting to be leaders. You got to give a chance for people to stand up and say, look, Mom. Okay? It's important you do this. And then, and do they get to say anything other than their names and what they do on the board? No, because then you'll lose control of the meeting. You'll let them say their name and say, sit down. Okay? You got to get through them quick. Don't tell them, we don't want you to talk. You just let them stand, right? Now, this sounds really horrible, but trust me, you've got to control the meeting. Then you say, all past presidents, well, we kind of got them. All past presidents said it. What's your name? What year were you past president? Great. Let's give them a hand. Oh, I want to be a past president. I get to stand up twice. Yeah. Industry credentials. Everybody that has your SMS, what are they? PHSI and HIP. All you would stand up, and everybody stands up, and you say, let's give them a hand. Sit down, right? And now, what do they learn? I got to get these credentials with my peers. I got to win. I got to beat these other guys. They're showing up. They're getting credentials. They're getting trophies. I'm getting squat. Okay? And then you say, first timer, stand up. Who got you here? And the first timer say, well, I got here and George brought me. George, way to go. And everybody says, oh, I got to bring somebody. That George is making me look bad. I got to bring somebody too. And then the first timers get the message, oh, cool. I matter. I'm family. You have to do that. You understand? This is not optional. Every meeting. And if you hold monthly meetings or weekly, you do this every meeting. Got it? Hall of Fame. Napoleon said, I learned that when men would give their life for a medal, I learned that I would rule the world. I learned that when men would give their life for a medal, these things. I learned that when men would give their life for a medal, I learned that I could rule the world. He actually said, I rule men with jeweled baubles. I mean, think about this. Men, take that hill. What? Take that hill. But there are people up there that are going to kill me. I know. But if you'll take that hill and you live, I'll give you a medal. Oh, okay. Let's go. We do that. Why aren't you giving out recognition at every event? Give out recognition when there are no events. Member of the month, recruiter of the quarter, best education specialist ever, best new member recruiter of the year. And do they have to be members? No. Give rewards out to people that aren't even members, but they got to come to your meeting to get the award. So now they're going to bring their family and every employee to get the recognition. What do you give for recognition? Gold stars, a medal, or a Snickers bar. A Snickers bar. Because it's not the medal per se, it's the recognition. I had a client, he says, Kordell, what do you do after Snickers bars? And I said, what do you mean after Snickers bars? And he said, well, I thought you were serious. He said, I went and bought a case of Snickers bars. And at every meeting for my top executives, I would take 3 Snickers bars and go to the meeting, and he'd say, I want to reward Mason for his marketing job last week. Greg, here's a Snickers bar. And he said to him, I want to reward, and he would give out these 3 Snickers bars. And so he calls me, he says, what do I do after Snickers bars? And I said, Marshall, what are you talking about? He said, well, nobody's eating their Snickers bars. What? He says, I walk around the office and people have got them lined up on their top of their filing cabinet. I've got 4 Snickers bars. How many of you got, loser? Okay? She says, I eat mine. So it doesn't have to be expensive. It's not the expense. It's the recognition. And you have to find excuses to recognize people. And at least one at every meeting, if not 2 or 3, right? And it may not be, maybe it is Snickers bars. Maybe it's a jug of water. we'd like to give you the Jug of Water Award. And they're going to take that to work, and they're going to say, can I have that water? Touch that water and I'll kill you. You know, because they want the water. They don't care. And so you can pick up cool things and give them away as rewards. A banana. You've heard about the Banana Award. There's a company in this country gives out golden banana awards. Some guy had an employee, he said, well, here, that's great, have a banana. And the employee walked back to his desk and they said, what did he say? He gave me a banana. And they came in and they said, well, I did something cool. Well, I'm out of bananas. They now give out golden bananas on a yearly basis to somebody who had a great idea. Guys, give out rewards. Create halls of fame. You want to be a president that's remembered? Give out recognition. Okay? How are we doing so far? Okay, thank you. So this guy's at this conference. I need something to bang on. This guy's at this conference, and he's got this army of salespeople up there, and he goes, who's got the best packaging? And 350 sales guys yell, we do. And he says, who's got the best marketing out there? And these 350 guys, we do. Who's got the best sales force in the whole country? We do. And for 3 minutes, he's going and banging the table, and they're getting, and people are throwing, yeah, we are. And he says, then, why aren't we selling more dog food? And this guy, yeah, the guy at the back of the room yells, because the dogs don't like it. Well, so we can talk about marketing ideas all day long, but they won't come if the programming sucks. Okay? Because the dogs don't like it. You need to go with me everywhere. Oh, man. Well, so if you want to do one thing as a president, look at your content. That's the single most powerful thing you'll do. Because you can drive more people away with one bad meeting. You have great educational content. Remember, of the top 4 reasons, how many are based on education? 3. Do they have to be industry experts? I'm not. Right? You can get people that are, because great business people recognize insights and information and ideas for what they are. You could have somebody talking about how to pickle kumquats, and if they relate it to your people, they'll say, that was awesome, right? So where do you get great programming? I suggest you steal from each other. Okay? Go to past presentations. Call them after 3 years and get them to come back. How many of you steal people? Who has a great speaker that you know that's come speak to your chapter? Show of hands. Okay, keep them up. You guys make a note of who's at your table. You want to go steal these names. Okay? You want to get those great speakers because the past tends to reflect itself again and again. There's a group called the National Speakers Association. They have 1,500, well, actually it's 2,000 Kordells. And why would these guys come and speak to you if they're make immoral amounts of money? Well, because if you say, come speak to our group, we'll cover your expenses, or we'll pay you small, or maybe speak for free because you can be in front of our members. Well, I speak on healthcare. And you have members that are in the healthcare business? Yeah. Oh, I'm there. See? So you can get would-be Zig Ziglars to come speak to your chapter. Okay? Steal them from other people. Ask your members. Send out an email on your LinkedIn groups. Who knows some great speakers? We're looking at great speakers for this fall. Give me feedback. Who have you heard that's good at other association events, other conferences, right? Because it's about content. The great book I give away. Get out your business cards. I want to show you how this works. Okay, we're going to give away a couple of books. So get out your business cards. Now, do this. If you never want to hear from us again, cross out your email address, okay? So if you never want to hear from us again, cross out your email address. Now, if you've crossed out your email address, opted out, pass your cards in, and we'll draw for 2 of Kordell's books, okay? So pass them in. Pass your cards all up here, and we'll draw. Okay. Okay, so I got out your cards. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw for these 2 books. Okay, we're going to draw for these 2 books. You ready? Okay. Put this one on top, he says. Okay, you ready? We're going to draw for these cards, or for these books. And the winner is, and this is for Kathy, and the winner of the tips, the sales managers, how to be a sales, and this is another 2-bathroom read, is Jeanette Call. Where's Jeanette? And for Marketing Moxie, the winner is Daniel Burke. Daniel Burke. Okay, time out. What just happened? I got all the business cards in the room. Recognition. Book sales. Yeah, in fact, you say to your speaker, do you have books you'd like to sell? Yes. How about we let you sell them in our chapter store, and we get 5% of the proceeds to hire better speakers next year? Right? Or something like that. Now the guy says, sure, if I can contribute to your chapter and help make you more, yeah, I've got some books, I've got 4, I'll let you, right? Now, so look at the things it does, plus, to his point, I now have everybody's cards. Why do I want their cards? Because I want to market to them. If you have people write down their email addresses, you can't read them. So what you have to do is you have to collect their cards, and then somebody goes back and they buy a little scanner. Brand new, these are $125. If you go on Amazon, you can buy a used one or one that's an older version that still does the same stuff as the new version for $14. You now take those cards, take that file of all those email addresses, and you send them out a newsletter. Because how many touches? And there are how many months in a year? 12. So now you can send them out 12 newsletters to stay in touch, because 80% of your customers want to buy from you again. They just forget about you. So you have to reach out and touch your customers multiple times. And the cheapest way to do that way is with free information. Free information. So if you got their email addresses, you can send them free information. See? It's semi-free. It costs so much for constant contact. Now, these cards, if I took these cards today, what would happen to me? She would kill me because I didn't get her permission to do this, okay? So these are not my cards. Unless she says, okay, you can take them. But notice that I opted out. If you never want to hear from me again, then you cross out, and then people say, oh, I don't want to hear from him again. See? So you got to give them that chance. But give away something at every meeting. Give away something at every newsletter. Best comment on this month's newsletter wins the book, wins a jug of water. I don't know. Wins a Duck Dynasty duck call. Okay? So, are you ready for this? Let me show you how this works. So I turn on my phone, and you guys are about to be on video. Are you okay with that? You won't show your security officer? Okay, so what I do is I turn on my camera, and I turn on the video side, and I turn it to the side, and are you watching this? Yeah, listen to them, they're over here coordinating their head tilts. Okay, so are you ready? The meeting's over. People are filing out of the room. You have your videographer expert with their iPhone, and this is what you do. You say, okay, now hang on. So Kordell was here today. Was it any good?
It was awesome.
Why?
He made me laugh.
Ah,
We learned all sorts of new things. It was exciting.
really?
He was great. I got a free book.
I loved it. It was interesting and entertaining.
There you go. Now, I hit stop, and then what do I do with this? Yeah, there's a thing on your phone called, you hit it and say, where do you want to send it? You say YouTube. It goes to YouTube, and then what do you do with it once it gets to YouTube? You go into YouTube and you change the title on it, give it a snappy title. IHS Connecticut. What was the program like? And then you send it out. So for an example, I think I've got it here. Oh, here's one. I spoke to the Mississippi Chamber of Commerce executives. And we did this with them when they were going to break. And I sent a note to the executive director and said, hey, send it out that I don't know who these people were, who went and saw, who I interviewed, but you ought to share this. So next thing, she sends it out, and guess how many views they get? One for every person that was at the conference, right? And then some of those people send it to their relatives. Hey, look what I said, right? So you take this video, which is now a testimonial of the conference, and you use it to do the pre-post thing. See how that works? So can you as a president do that? No. You've got to assign somebody else to do it. Should we take a break?
Yes.
Let's take a break. Yeah. Okay, so for every program, I was in Dallas Fort Worth at the Marriott, Dallas Fort Worth, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear through the connecting door between my room and the room next door, I hear screaming and fighting going on in the room next door. 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I thought, what are these guys doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? So they're yelling at each other, whoever's in that room, 3 o'clock in the morning. And in a minute, I hear the door in the hallway open and slam.
In the middle of the night?
3 o'clock in the middle of the night. And I thought, well, okay. And I settled back down to go to sleep. When on my door, this is my door in the hallway, I hear this. Open the door! Open the door right now! Open the door!
You pull your 45 out of your bedroom.
So they're not stopping. So I go over and I look through the peephole, and there's a head of cascading blonde hair.
Open the door.
So I opened the door and I said to her, "You're buck naked." And 5 other doors open. And she did this, I kid you not. She realized she was banging on the wrong door, and so she went, "Oh." She was marketing the wrong way. True story. So if you can get people's attention like that, but I don't suggest it. At the end of every event, you want some form of evaluation sheet. I like them half a sheet, half a page, different color than anything else on the paper so they stand out, and it has 2 questions on it. The first question, what did you get today that you would use? What would you use down the road? And you leave space for them to write something there. Second question, what do you wish you'd gotten more information on? And leave space for them to write. Because whatever they write on the first question, you use as a testimonial for your next event. And whatever they said on the second question tells you what subject you want to talk about in a future event. Don't overthink this stuff, right? This is easy stuff. And if you put smiley faces on there, how was Kordell? 1, he sucked. 10, walked on water. The only reason why you'd want to put smiley faces is so that the speaker doesn't have to pay a psychiatrist to get their self-worth, okay? So that's what you want to do. Remember, sham, wow. They believe what other people say about you before they believe what you say about you. So you want testimonials, and you get those off the evaluation forms. There's a way to do that, though. You don't wait until the end of the conference to fill them out. You fill them out 5 minutes before the speaker finishes. So you pass them out, fill those out, and then the speaker speaks again for 5 minutes. That way you end on a high note. You say to the meeting planner, Kathy, Joy, where's Joy? Is she in here? I say, Joy, will you write me a reference letter? Sure. Will she write me a reference letter? No. Why? Because she gets back and she's got forest fires to put out. She's not going to write a reference letter. She's going to get too busy. So what do? I say, do you mind if I write a reference letter based on the feedback I got from your people? I'll send it to you. You edit, copy, paste, and then put it on your letterhead and send it back to me. I can do that. So I write this email, Dear Joy, Kathy, here's my address, and then line, and then you put a line across. Kordell Norton, dear Kordell, a note of thanks for your program, blah, 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 blah. Copy, paste, stamp, mail. What do you do with those? When you get those letters, you photocopy them, write a note across the face of them, put it in an envelope and send it to those 75 people that are in your state that never come to meetings, and the note's going to say, hey, get your buns to our next meeting. You're missing out. This is what they said about our last presenter. Get to the next meeting. This is what they said about last year's golf event. Okay? They believe this stuff before they believe anything else you say. They believe what's on the evaluations before anything else, right? Tools, tips, tricks, and tactics. The power of a title. You guys have seen these titles? Yeah. The thing you need to realize is that there's a secret to titles because 80 people do buy books by their covers. That's right. And the title is the cover for your conference. So how do you do that? Well, there's a left brain and a right brain part of the title. In your book on page 59, you might want to dog-ear this page. These books are meant to be written all over. You want to hand this to next year's president with all your notes in it because the best books are the ones that have been marked by somebody before. On 59, you're going to find these references. Let me tell you what these references are. If I say, Kordell's going to talk about building membership, you're going to say, oh, boring. Yeah, boring. But if you say, grow your organization, I don't remember what we called this, grow your organization, the tips, tricks, and traps of association growth and having fun at the same time. I have one I give, it's called Chocolate, Elephants, and Wrinkle Remover. The 4 elements to drastic business growth. Well, so what happens is when you do a title, you want to do a right brain part of the title, then a hyphen or a colon, and the left brain part of the title. So the right brain part of the title is eclectic, creative, off the wall, bizarre, weird. And then you have a colon and you have dignified, analytic, measurable. So let me use my title again. Chocolate, Elephants, and Wrinkle Remover, dash, the 4 elements to explosive business growth. Okay? So you have this chocolate, elephants, and wrinkle remover that makes the person say, what? Who is going to talk about wrinkle? I got to go to this, right? And then they get to the colon and they say, oh, but it's the 4 steps, the how-to methods to, the secrets of, the 49 ways you can. And then the analytics in your audience, because half your audience are right brain creative types, they're just, woohoo, I'm going for the beer. The other half is going because they want to learn something, and I want exacts, and I want details, and I want numbers, right? And so you create a title that has 2 parts, a right brain and a left brain part of the title. Now, to help you, if you go to this free headline generator, it'll ask you some questions. You plug them in, and when you answer the questions, you hit a button and it'll go, and it'll give you 80 titles. And what you do is you say, sucks, sucks, good, good, okay, sucks, sucks, and then you can mix and match. So you can move stuff around, okay? And that way people will come just because they want to go see about chocolate, elephants, and wrinkle remover, right? And it never fails to, it's just amazing to me that people, so, and when you do your program, by the way, so you've got your right brain, left brain, and then you've got to write stuff about your program, what the details are of the program. So what do you write in the details of the program? The you cans. You can, blah, 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 see? And that's what you write, okay? This second site is something you only want to do when you've got time on your hands. Because when you get started on this, it's going to destroy a chunk of time for you. Because you type in whatever you think the program is, and it gives you a score. On 0 to 100, you're a 40. You're a 70. Your program will appeal to the spiritual needs of your... It's intellectually titled well, but spiritually it sucks. Right? And so you'll play with this and you'll say, I wonder what my business tagline is. And you type in your... I was doing a title for a book, and I typed it in, and it wouldn't give me a score. And I called my friend Bob, and I said, hey, Bob Cannon, the thing's broken, their website's broken. He said, what do you mean? I'm typing in my title, and it won't give me a score. He says, Kordell, it's because your title is so bad, it won't give you any score. So I put in another, he was right. So if you play with that, be aware it will screw up your calendar, because you'll say, oh, no way. What happens if I call it? Okay, and you'll have to play with it. Okay, 7 marketing touches. Let's come back to this. We talked about LinkedIn groups. By the way, if you want to grow your business using LinkedIn groups, you need to join some groups. And then when there's a dialogue in that group, you participate in the dialogue. So for an example, if you could get in your state's doctors' LinkedIn group, physicians, and especially if they're hearing specialists or hearing surgeons, and the North Carolina Hearing Surgeons Association, and you joined their association and had conversation in their groups, guess who's going to be at the top of their mind when they need to assign somebody to? See how that works? This is powerful. Where do I get newsletter content? From IHS. Okay? I went today, I typed in, quote, hearing aid, space, plus, blog. Now, why do I do it that way? Because if I type in hearing aids, it's going to give me hearing aids for rock stars, hearing aids for dogs, hearing aids for cat, hearing aids in research, hearing aids, and you're going to have a search that'll bring you back 40 million items. But if I write in quotes, it's going to look for the hearing aid, and it's going to look for plus, quotes, blog. It's just going to bring back every that's hearing aid, blog. It'll just bring me back a select group. Right? When I did that, are these lights going up and down? Yes. I thought we were drinking too early. But so here's this blog, and I went and looked at the blog, and I'm reading this article, and whoever wrote this blog, it's great material, right? Well, so now if I've got blog content and I send it out to all my members, do I have to write the content? No. Everybody's creating all this content, and you just say to them, you send them a note, can I quote your blog in my newsletter? What are they going to say? Yeah. Fame, that's what I want. So you can go out and in a period of 2 minutes, 5 minutes, find more information than you can do in newsletters, studying for months and months and reading and, okay? Or do what IH says. Say, Kordell, I needed an article, something fun about naked ladies in Marriott at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, because there's people out there who have great content. Today it's about visibility, okay? You're going to get a copy of this book tomorrow. This book, I was in charge of marketing. I had a $31 million marketing budget. And so I was in charge of marketing for the largest seller of personal computers in the United States. We sold, I had to promote little names like IBM, Hewlett-Packard, Apple, Compaq, et cetera, et cetera. And they gave me $31 million at the end of the year. And I need to tell you in parentheses that company, we sold the first Apple computer ever sold. It was serial number 11, was the first Apple ever sold. So the Apple guys had come in to see us, and one of them said, you know, we need to do some experiential marketing on that. And I said, what did he say? Experiential marketing. So I started studying what is an experience. Because we have life-changing experiences that happen in our world, like marriage, that'll change your life, the birth of a child, death, vacation, graduation, death, divorce, marriage, right? All these things are life-changing experiences. Well, the smart people say, well, if it's all about moving to experiences, what are the parts of an experience? So I started studying what are the parts of an experience, and I wrote a book about it. By the way, at the end of the year, I went to the CFO and I said, I only needed a couple of $1 million. Wait. You moved us from $2.5 to $3 billion, and you spent $2 million to do that? Yep. That's like spending $1 and getting $153 in new business, which is not bad, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, I just stole from Apple. What's an experience? What are the things you do in a great marriage? What are the things you do in a great graduation, a divorce? What are the things that constitute an experience? So, page 63. Is it there? Does it say drastic?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the parts of an experience. Okay, and tell me if these don't work for your marriage and all your graduation and your events, your IHS chapter events. Do they have these elements? Do they have to have them all? No, but the more you can provide, the better off you'll be. So they are DRASTIC. D stands for dollars, because there's great dollars involved with an experience. Because you're not going to go to Disney until you pay to get in the park, in the parking lot, pay to get in the park, pay to get on the rides, pay to eat something, and you're not leaving Disney until you have something with ears on it. There are dollars involved with an experience. Are you going to charge them to come to your chapter event? Oh, you bet. R stands for raiment. It's an Old Testament term. It means clothing. Because great events have a change of clothing, okay? At the wedding, it's a white dress. At the graduation, it's a cap and gown. At the birth of the child, it's something without a back in the thing, and the doctors, and right? Divorce, it's a judge, right? Because there's a change of clothing in great events. So in your chapter events, do you have a theme? Do you have them change their clothes? Do you have a beach attire event? The person with the best flip-flops, best person with the best flip-flops wins an award. Okay? So you need to think about, how do I make it better through a change of clothing? A is an authority figure. This is a who said of the greatest magnitude, somebody we give great credibility to. By the power vested in me, I declare you and you, man and wife. Okay. You were single yesterday. Tomorrow, I want you to act totally different. Okay. Put the toilet lid down. Put the cap on the toothpaste. Okay. Okay. Why? Why do these authority figures have that kind of clout? By the authority of me, I declare you doctors. Okay. You're graduated. Okay. Take this scalpel and go cut on somebody. Okay. I couldn't yesterday, but I can today. Because we're all wandering through life trying to find these authority figures. Why? Well, because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard. If I just had a brain, you got to go see the wizard. If I just had some courage, you got to go see the wizard. If I just had, you got to go see the Why? Because he's an authority figure. Oh, that's what I needed, okay? It's crazy. It's the judge, it's the lawyer, it's the college president, but there's huge change. And so who's your authority figure for your chapter event? That's why you have all those people stand up. That's why you say, and our special speaker today is, because they become an authority figure. You line up enough of them, you can make them into authority figures. I mean, these guys, Kathy said, I kind of hurt him once. I didn't know I was getting into this much trouble. But she hurt me, and so they built me up. I mean, you guys, a lot of you said, I didn't know who he was before. And you're going to go home and say, never again. No, I'm just kidding. But you can make these people into wizards, okay? S is for sound. Okay? Because when they come into your chapter meeting, you have to have something going. You want them to say, we are not in Kansas anymore. Okay? So, and you got to get a church lady, you got to sign it to somebody. Somebody brings their iPhone and they just plug it in, right? T is for thirst. Thirst. Because great events, there's liquid involved. You're either skating on it, you're swimming through it, you're water skiing through it, you're cruising through it, you're getting baptized in it. The sacrament has some liquid in it. There's champagne at the wedding, there's beer at the graduation, but there's a liquid. of some sort. I stands for illumination, because you got to change the lighting. See, and if there's less than 40 people, I don't use PowerPoint. I'll write, because then they're like, this is different. Once you get over 50, you have to use PowerPoint. But by the way, do you use bullets? I think this is one of 2 slides of mine that has bullets. If somebody, oh, by the way, when your speakers go to speak, have them send you their PowerPoint deck. And if they got pages and pages of bullets, you got to coach them. Don't do that. If you stand up and read those bullets, we will kill you. We will have an emergency subject that has to be covered in the meeting. Okay, some good books. Go read Presentation Zen or Slideology. Get them online, and they're great reads. Or How to Present Like Steve Jobs. Get away from reading bullets. And because it's more entertaining when you say, if I just said illumination, because you can't have a romantic dinner without candles. You can't have a great event without lighting and AV. You got to have, right? And the last one is calories. Because you got to have food, right? And when you walk up to the registration desk, they've got chocolate on the registration desk. So you got here, there's a chocolate. Come to this meeting, there's a chocolate. Pavlovian dog, get you to salivate, right? It's not, that's why we've got to save the earth. It's the only place in the universe that has chocolate. Okay, now, we don't have time for this. Let's go to this, okay? We want to do a case session. We're going to get you warmed up for the next session. Here's the case section. CASE stands for copy and steal everything. Okay? So here's what we want to do for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to close with something else. So for 5 minutes, I want you to turn this book to find a blank page somewhere, a page that has not a lot of writing on it, in this Grow Your Organization book, okay? The green book. Is there a page somewhere that has a blank spot? It's what? 72 has a blank page. So everybody turn to page 72 and fold over the corner of the page so you'll remember where this is at, okay? Now, what chapters made more than $20,000 last year on your annual event? Show of hands. Okay, you guys look around, because these are the people you want to go steal ideas from, okay? Now, there was a guy that was sitting here that grew his organization. Who was that? Where'd he go? He grew his membership by double last year. Would you like to know how he did that? Okay, so everybody put your hand up who got more than 20 grand. Okay, and put your hand up because you qualify. Mr. Double, these people we want to go steal ideas from. Okay? Or if you can't hear one of those conversations, you got to find somebody in here and say, what have you done really cool? And what I want you to do is steal ideas. Don't reinvent the wheel. Go figure out how he doubled his chapter membership. You've got 5 minutes. Mark, get set, go. Go get these people. All you big bucks, big money winners, where are you? Okay. I love it. When I hit that glass, this young lady right here was getting all these insights how to double her membership, and she looked at me like, "Don't you dare ring that glass." So, real quick, because we only have a couple of minutes, best ideas that you just stole were what? Call them out.
Give food.
Give food. What else?
Drink.
Drink. What were the best ideas? What did you guys get that you said, "Oh, that's good, I'm still..."
Levels of membership.
Levels of membership. Ooh, wow. Membership recognition. These guys sponsor. Tell them about sponsors. They have sponsors for their meeting.
For our meeting, yeah. About 10 years ago or 8 years ago, we decided not to pay for anything. We found sponsors for all of our meals, sponsors for all of our speakers, sponsors for the luncheon. So as a result, our society doesn't take any money out of pocket to run our convention.
So they got down, so they start the thing, they got cash like crazy. So they're going to spend some time on roundtable. So let me finish up, and I want to tell you about this bag. I was speaking to 600 Amish business people. And I want to tell you, they don't laugh at the same stuff you guys laugh at. But I was speaking to these 600 Amish business people, and it was lunch break, and we had these box lunches. So I was sitting at a table. It was me and 5 guys with beards and straw hats, and we were talking. We had our box lunches. We were talking about them and their business and how they wanted to grow their business. And we pulled out the cookie that was in the box lunch. And we were laughing at the cookie in the box lunch because it said, "homemade snickerdoodle," right? And I said, "That's not homemade." They said, "Yeah, it's not homemade. It's wrapped in cellophane." And so we were laughing about it because that's an experience. This place is haunted. But so we're laughing about the snickerdoodles, right? This place is so cool.
Come to the dark side.
So, just turn those lights right up. Kath, just let it go. Let it go. It's kind of fun. So we were laughing about this snickerdoodle, and I'm reading the package. So I've got the package here. I've been carrying it around since then. The package is now just a bag of crumbs because it's crisscrossed international boundaries. But we're reading on this, and it has an ingredient called titanium dioxide in it. Well, the week before, I had cut myself shaving, and it wouldn't stop bleeding. So I went and got a styptic pencil, and it stopped it. And the main ingredient on a styptic pencil was titanium dioxide. So I've carried this around in case anybody here gets a gaping head wound. We will just cram snickerdoodles into your head until we save your life. Well, the moral of the story is people have gaping head wounds at times in their business. And we carry around the snickerdoodles that we can plug the holes with. We really do. We've got to understand that we've got to communicate the message, you cans, in ways that will reach out and touch them when they need it, 7 touches. And then just have fun. Because if you have fun, the dogs love that. They'll come back again and again and again. If you're just having fun, and go get some 20-something-year-olds to drive you nuts, because they will. Get them on their phone. Say, come and teach us how to be technology literate, okay? Guys, thanks for letting me be here. Thanks. I never explained the Victoria's Secret bag. She says, do you want me to explain it? We're going to kind of talk about this tomorrow. I love bags because they communicate so much. And I went to Victoria's Secret. I found out, unbeknownst to all of these men in the room, there is an item in the Victoria's Secret store nobody knows about. They buried in the door frame a special device that when you step through the door, if you're a man and you step through the door, blood rushes to your face. So I went to Victoria's Secret to get a bag. I stepped through the door and I thought, I hope nobody from my churches sees me here, you know? So I walk into this Victoria's Secret store and I'm walking thinking, and there's all these things with girls and bare naked and this cute little thing popped up from behind a display and said, can I help you? And I about had a heart attack. I said, can I get a bag? She said, come with me. So she takes and walks me all the way through to where? The back of the store. So more people can see me there. I get to the back, she hands me a bag. There, thanks. So I'm walking out with the bag, and I'm talking to my friend Tom from Branson. Who's from Branson? My friend Tom Brett from Branson, Missouri. He's got a show there. And Tom says, he said to Andrea, so he tells me this story. He says, I told Andrea, go in that store and don't come out till you've bought something. And I thought, this is good, because this is one company that charges more for less. And so he comes out with his Victoria's Secret bag, or she does. She's got this bag, and she says, you're going to love this. So they drive home. He gets home, and she says, do you want your gift right now? Yeah. She reaches into the bag and she pulls out a CD of romantic music. He says, that's not what I meant. We'll see you guys tomorrow.